Think I'm live. I'm just going to double check my dashboard and we're going to get straight into this workshop. Just off screen right now, making sure my dashboard is up and running. Yep, looks like I'm live. Awesome. Yeah, that's great. I'm going to just make sure there's no clashing. Guys, the camera's here. Welcome to this workshop. My name is Will, and in this workshop I'm going to be tapering on from a series that I started the other day, which is how to build web stores, using freely available tools online. We're going to be looking at WordPress. I'm going to be in this workshop looking at Stripe integration for one-time payments, so you can fashion your checkouts and create listings. And this is going to be quite a fun one. I have quite a bit of content here ready for the day. I kind of want to go a little bit more vertical into what I started, where I spent about 10 to 20 minutes or so in my last couple workshops regarding a web store building, looking at really glossing the surface, right? I was just glossing the surface of what can be done. And again, I'm not going to go too vertical in this, but I'll go a little bit more vertical. I'm going to look at, I'm going to go through the agenda here. The first main section, if you can see here, let's see if I've got it up. So we're going to be looking at how to build the web store. We're going to be using a few free tools, as I said, WordPress, Stripe, and even Google Groups. I'm going to explain as to why we're using this email tooling suite, this email tooling platform, Google Groups, to manage email campaigns, such as if you have an email newsletter attached to your site, you want to upsell, you want to promote for your web store. I'm going to use Google Groups because it's quite lightweight to use. It scales well for like small businesses and startup style scale level of web store, and who doesn't have a Google account these days, right? So we're gonna stick with that. But there are other options you can use. You can even do it manually on your own email client. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna get straight into this. Let's go through the agenda a little bit. So I'm gonna just walk through this little introduction with modern web tools. So good now. You really don't need to have to code from scratch to build a robust, lucrative web store, and I've come to understand this through experience, being coming from a developer point of view, a developer background, where I code from the trenches. I'm so used to spending hours behind a screen building software. It came to a little bit of a shock to me, quite a pleasant shock, if I may say, that I learned that to build modern tools in 2024, rather build modern web stores with the available tools in 2024, you really don't need to be a seasoned developer. You don't need to be a coder per se in order to build tools. You just need the determination, the imagination, and access to an internet connection and basically a decent laptop. I've even built some of my sites on a tablet, and I think I've used my phone before, my smartphone. It's that simple. So in this workshop, I'll be using freely available middleware, as I mentioned, such as WordPress, Stripe, Google Groups to build a robust web store. I'm also going to cover how to manage email campaigns. So I'm going to really scratch the surface of how you can attach an email campaign and manage email campaigns for user engagement, promotions, and upselling via Google Groups. It's going to be quite a fun session. I really hope my levels are working here. I can see that oh, okay, I think my it's good that I had OBS up in front of me because my video just left and I've just brought it back. Sorry about that, guys. I'm gonna be checking in every now and then. It's gonna be quite a chilled stream, I'm gonna go through the content, but I'm gonna be quite relaxed about all this. So with that being said, I think this is gonna take about like anywhere between 40 minutes to an hour and a half, maybe scratching the 2 hour surface. Not 100% sure. Depends how quickly we get through these agenda points. So this particular web store works well with a closed inventory. What do I mean by this? So I've come to understand the two kinds of web stores you can have. You have your kind of UGC style user-generated content web store, like your eBay, your Amazon, where us as the customers, we create the listings of the store, and that's probably the ideal, the ultimate scale that you would want a successful web store to be at, where your user base is literally building where your user base is basically building your stock. But in this case, I'm going to opt to demonstrate a closed inventory style, such that the listings are more closed. Let's say if you run a business, you run a boutique, you sell. In this case, I'm using my previous example of selling trainers in this kind of pseudo store by trainers. And so stock listings would be quite close in that there's only a finite number of listings available. It's not going to be like infinite amount of shoes coming in. But I think that's actually a good place to start, because depending on in-house operations, you might be starting small. You may not have the longevity perhaps in your enterprise to rely on UGC. So that's why I'm going to start like this. So I gave some examples here, as you can see. These are unaffiliated with this demonstration, these particular highlighted organizations. So first things first, we're going to deal with the WordPress side of things. I already started with this template that I started the other day, and I kind of made a bit of progress on off screen. As you can see, some pseudo listings here. This is not going to be a fully functioning in the sense of you can log in after this workshop and access the site directly and buy stuff. No, this is just an example showing you how the tools work, such that once you get a grasp of what's actually going on here, you can go off on your own and you can basically do what you need to do. I'm gonna see if I can just adjust this. The lighting's really coming on and off there. I wanted to just kind of stay. It's because it's quite bright outside. I live in the UK, and 1 minute it's summer, 1 minute it's winter. I'm not joking. So do excuse the lighting issues. So right now it's quite bright outside, but that might change. But anyway, so I'm gonna first look at WordPress. I'm gonna see if I can spend like a good 20 minutes on each section. It's about 6 minutes in, so about half an hour. Hopefully we can then go to part 2, where I'll be looking at integrating Stripe payments. I have a feeling it's gonna take a lot faster than I reckon. Part 3, I'm going to be looking at adding a search feature to the site, fairly straightforward stuff. And then finally, I'm going to go into Google Groups for part 4. We're going to look at the email campaign for user engagement. So let's dive straight into this workshop. I don't want to really push this too much, but if you guys want an in-depth, comprehensive mentoring, I don't want to say the word mentoring, more like guided workshops tailored for what you need to do, then I am offering one-to-one live web store building sessions on Jimoh Studios website. Everything's here on my contact card. It's here at the bottom here, just in the notepad. Everything's here if you need. I'll just leave that there. So I don't want to push this too much, but it's there available if you want it. Check it out. Okay, anyway, let's get straight into this workshop. Part 1, log into WordPress. So I'm already logged into my WordPress. I have my first video in this series does cover my first video in the series does actually cover choosing a theme. So I'm not going to go into that in this particular workshop for the sake of not repeating myself. Do go and watch the first workshop. I'll see if I can leave a link later in the description. If you can't find it on the channel, it's in my live stream section with a similar title. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee. Nice. Okay, and so what we're going to do here, I'm going to explain. Oh, just as a side note, I'm using the Atar theme, which I find quite robust. It's quite good for a free theme, as you can see, and you can customize it. It didn't really look like this at first. It did look. I changed about 20% of it to get the style I wanted. So, and I'm using some block elements here. I'm going to dive into what's actually going on here. So what's next? We're going to draft the overall look of the homepage. So how do we create this kind of a listing feel? I do have an example of TEMU, and TEMU is obviously like a store website. I'm not affiliated with TEMU, but I'm going to use them as an example. Let's see what categories they have here. I'm just going to say like men's shoes. I'm going to say like men's trainers. Let's see what happens. So obviously you can see like all these listings. This is more like, I believe that TEMU is more UGC in that people become partners with TEMU, and then you can then list your own you can basically sideload your own online business off TEMU, just like you can do with like Amazon as a partner or eBay as an individual or organization. So I kind of like this sort of like listing style feel. You're just browsing, you're looking at what's there. TEMU has obviously a virtually infinite amount of listings in a sense, so the scrolling is like infinite in a sense. But this is the kind of vibe I want to go for. But obviously, as I alluded to at the beginning, we're going for like a closed stock inventory, so listings will be finite for the sake of scale. I also have another one, Shein, over here. Shein. The reason I bring up Shein is because I forgot to mention, I want to also go into, I'm going to just keep scrolling. I'm going to just the general homepage of Shein. Obviously, they have different models and different kind of clothings and stuff. Pretty interesting stuff. And what I want to draw your attention to is the coupon section. You can add coupons, I'm going to show you how you can integrate coupons. And this is really smart what they've done. I mean, I'm just looking at this now, and I think it's really smart because you enter your email address in order to gain access to these coupons. And what's fascinating is once you enter your email and subscribe, they don't hide it. You're subscribing to a service here. It's probably the newsletter. Then they have your email address for engagement. So in return for value, your £3 off coupon, you're registering your customers to a very nifty, what could be a very enjoyable email list. And again, in the part 4 of this workshop, I'm going to show you guys how to create a very lightweight, simple email campaign. So that's going to be really fun stuff. That's why I wanted to use Shein as an example. They have the banner here. Can't really miss it, you know. So you can really push for that. So let's get back to my web stores tab. I'm going to go to WordPress. I'm going to go to my my example site over here. So first things first, drafting out the overlook of the homepage. Just like with TEMU, I quite like how you're met with the listings. I want to kind of just expand on that for this. So I'm going to show you guys how I made this listing and how you can make it a little bit more robust, such that every time you update the listings, new listings are shown without you having to virtually go into the editor itself to update your listings. So I'm going to hit edit and we're going to get straight into the block editor view. Let me just have a look at my dashboard. Should be interesting here. And guys, if you have any comments, do leave them over here. Just in live time, I guess I could say. I'm willing to just kind of address any comments and questions you may have. I'd like to make this kind of an interactive session. So first things first, how did I make this? So if I go ahead and click about here around the block, you're going to see this panel come up. You have all sorts of different options. I do appreciate it's quite hard to see over here. I'm going to just highlight that one more time. I just hovered out of it. But it says blog posts. This is a block editor control offered by WordPress, the WordPress block design view. And if I go ahead and hover just below, you see this cross, this little plus. It says add block. It's really hard to read, I appreciate. Maybe if you're watching full screen, you might see it. But otherwise, take my word for it. It says add block. I'm going to click the button. And it comes up with this like mini panel where you can see some of my recent blocks. And you can see blog posts here. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to hit browse all. Just to give you guys a sense of what's available, what you can do, and how creative you can get. You have quite a multitude of different block elements that you have at your disposal. No coding really needed here. It's pretty amazing. I'm going to go ahead and look for the blog posts, I think it was, or was it post list? I can't remember anymore. It should be here somewhere. I think it looks a bit blue. Yeah, so we have post carousel, which is another control, which is basically a carousel of all your recent posts. I'm going to go ahead and click blog posts, because that's what's going to be quite necessary for this. As you can see, already it has automatically generated some posts. Mind you, I did make these posts off screen. I made these before the stream went live, such that I don't have to spend too much time making posts during the stream. I can save time by doing the posts before. So these posts are going to act as your listings. I'm going to just get rid of this. These posts can act as your listings. So what I quite like, I don't know if TEMU integrates this, but if I have the chance, I think, yeah, I have it here. I have MSN's homepage, and MSN's Microsoft Start, I call it MSN because I'm used to it. It kind of has this kind of news feed style. I kind of want to gloss on this, and as you can see, it's quite stylish. It's kind of Metro-esque. Some of these listings for the news articles are smaller. Some of the more popular headlines are featured like this, kind of like large, take up more space. And you have obviously your featured listings up here. In this case, has a carousel. We could integrate a carousel here if we wanted to in our own website example. So why am I showing you this? So basically, I have this format here. I'm going to show you how to make that. So let's make this a little bit more horizontal. And I'm going to change the sizing up to make things a little bit more interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and click this. As you can see, I've highlighted the blog posts. And first things first, it's in list view, and we don't want that, at least for this particular example. I'm going to put it on grid view. In order to make it like that, just click the 4 panels there, grid view, and as you can see, boom, we have this grid-like view, which is more akin for listings, I would argue. It looks more like a listing site. You could, depending on your creativity, you could get away with the list view, as you can see here. But I would argue, unless you're making something with like a newsletter style template, stick with the grid view if you want to make it more like a browsing experience. I quite want to keep. I want to keep things quite consistent in the sense that the text is overlaid above the pictures. So there's an option for that over here. Show media behind, as you can see, and some of the formatting is a little bit funny over there. So maybe I can adjust the dimensions of these images. So what I'm going to do right now, the posts are randomly generated. What you could do, I will demonstrate it. You could choose specific posts. I'll show you that now before I forget. So let's just go. I made a few posts. So if I write skates, I made a post about skates for a listing. As you can see, it's already there. 4-wheeled skates comes up there. Let's just say shoes. I'm sure because these are keywords for my post. I'm gonna hit the tennis shoes one. There might be some duplicate posts as you can see over here, but this is all just for the sake of example. I'm gonna try and make these listings a bit bigger than the ones at the top to kind of just make things look a bit interesting. Running shoes, okay, that just came up, so that's fine. Let's keep it as this. I'm going to make it 2 columns. So the column tab, I'm going to hit it on 2. Because I have 3 listings, it then grids down to the bottom, which is actually quite useful. So in that case, let me make it even. Let me make another, let me say rollerblades. I know I made a rollerblade listing somewhere. If I write blades. Yeah, rollerblades right there. And as we can see, we have this kind of quad grid view, which I think is quite neat. I'm gonna highlight my control again as I've lost focus there of the panel. Column gap, you can adjust the padding between the listings. I quite like it as small as possible. I think it looks the neatest. You can have large, medium, small. Okay, so I opted to not select use duplication logic, and it's quite, if you go in live, it is useful to not have duplicated listings, as if you have a finite amount, let's say you have 10 listings and you have like a panel of 50 a month across your web store, you know, you might have duplicate listings, and you can basically omit duplicate listings by clicking this to use the deduplication logic. But then what happens is if you do have duplicate listings on one page, it does kind of mess up the UI, and I don't really like that. So I'm going to opt to not use deduplication logic. So, okay. Oh, let me just get focus back on the page. I'm just going to hit Control S to save the page. I'm just looking at my agenda over there. Okay, sweetness. There's a particular control here which I think can adjust the size slightly. So we have minimum height. I'm not too sure why WordPress doesn't offer minimum width to adjust the width of the post, but there is a way around that. But as you can see, I'm making the width of the post quite tall, like the height has been adjusted. Unless I'm missing out where minimum width is. Oh, yeah. Also, what I don't like, I want to say I don't like, it depends on the nature of what you're doing. But in this particular context, it says that these posts are authored by Jimoh Studios. There's a timestamp. We don't really want that there. Again, if I reference TEMU, all you really have are listings. You have like how many sold, which you can perhaps add with some editing on WordPress. But you don't need to know when these listings went live, unless maybe if I click on this men's breathable trainers, they look pretty cool. It might have a date somewhere when the listing went live, but I don't think that's important information per se compared to stuff like the shipping details and stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and go back, and I'm going to look for the part of this. Yeah, here we go. Post meta settings. So we don't want to show the date. We want to get rid of that. We don't want to show the author, and then so all we have is the post title. So what you want to do is make sure that the listing, the post title is the listing you want to show. So 4-wheeled skates, £20 as an example. I made sure that the title of the post is the listing. I'll go into one of these posts separately and I'll show you what I mean. I might even make a listing page for one of these just for the sake, maybe for the rollerblades, they look kind of cool. I might make a listing for that just so we can make something akin to like, where is it gone? Like this, like a particular listing. Because I think as part of the customer journey, the psychology is that you don't want to sort of pressure your customer to make a purchase decision, but you want to kind of just feed them with information such that they come such that a customer comes to their own informed decision, right? But obviously you're going to sort of like bias your customer towards buying something. With so many options on the site, you want them to buy a particular brand, and that's where this particular description page comes in handy before they obviously add to their cart or go straight to the checkout. All right, so what's next? Yeah, I was gonna adjust the width. So the workaround here, if we go back to the mini panel at the top, once you hit focus on your control, this first one called align is on none. So it's 620 pixels wide, as you can see, maximum. It's quite hard to read. If you hit the middle on wide width, you can see there's a preset width value. So now the width has gone higher. I really like this width. It looks really cool. In fact, if this was a category, if these posts had categories on them, so for example, I selected, because I selected these posts in particular, if they were, say, like skate categories or types of tennis shoes or types of running shoes, types of rollerblades, I think this look is really, really good for that. Just having like a very simplistic quad view is really cool. It makes a lot of sense. But I'm going to keep it as listings for now. So what I want to do is actually adjust the height to make it a little bit more symmetrical. So I'm going to go back and scroll on my blocks panel. Minimum height, I'm going to see if I can increase that a little bit. Really make this stand out. Boom, and that looks quite nice, I think. I'm going to hit save. Okay, so we've covered featured style listings, and the idea is to use posts. So I'm going to go into the page view by hitting view page. And yeah, the idea is you want to make as many listings as needed. And remember, it's a closed environment for your inventory, such that if you, say, have a small business, you're a startup, and you decide you want to open up a brick and mortar store on the high street selling trainers, but you also want a web store to power the e-commerce aspect, then the idea is that you want all the listing of your stock on your site. And so make as many posts as you can to support the available listings. You don't have to worry about like UGC style at this current moment. We're not using this platform for UGC style listings. And your team, as I said here, your organization may have a dedicated team for writing new listings. So this is, I won't say it's fully automated. This is a very hands-on approach. I did claim that you don't need coding knowledge, but you do have to be somewhat proactive in this approach. Once your website goes gold, I suppose that us as the web builders are sort of responsible for the content. So we have to put in the work. We have to update the site as per needed, but we can add the automation aspect in as much as we can via our platform. In this case, is WordPress. On the home page, I've written that I should use the post listing block to feature posts, which is what I've done here. So these are all posts. I'm going to click one in a minute. Excuse me. And if I scroll down, we have a featured basketball sneakers, which in this case this is not a post, but I think it takes me straight to a checkout. So I didn't really go into too much detail, but we're going to be hitting up Stripe. Again, I'm going to show you how to add these promotional codes via coupons on the Stripe side of things. The first section here, we're focusing on WordPress, but I thought I'd just kind of touch on that right now. And then here, I also made some more listings. So I'm just playing around with the designs, really. So you have this kind of grid view, there's single featured basketball sneakers. I'm going to hit the rollerblades, so I'm going to click that. And as you can see, there's a big image of our featured image. I'm going to show you how to do that, because that's another thing. But obviously there's not really any content on this. I'll probably use this for another one of the posts for the listing, just like as we saw on the TEMU for the breathable shoes over there on the little snippet there. It's kind of cool. Rollerblades look pretty nice. So I'm gonna go back to my home. I think it's gonna take me to the panel. Let's see what we're doing here. So we're customizing the look. There's still a few things I want to do pertaining towards the dashboard. Sorry, not the dashboard tool, pertaining to the WordPress side of the UI. So I'm going to go on View Site. Let's see what we have to do next. Customizing the look of the content listing blocks. I guess we can get straight to the Stripe side of things as long as we're done here, but I haven't made the listing itself. So I'm going to go for the running shoes. I'm going to click running shoes. Oh yeah, and that's it. I'm going to show you how to do the featured image such that, because there's an option that you can select or deselect for the featured image, and that's what really makes the thumbnail of your listing. Again, once you make your post, here I'm in the post editor. If I go on the post section, I think it is, it should say featured image, or is it block? Post. Here it is. So featured image. This is the top one is the featured image. You can replace it. I went on Pexels, this free library of really cool images. You can basically select any respective images you need for your store. Maybe you're selling tennis shoes or rollerblades. So this is what I did. I think I wrote running shoes. I'm not too sure what I wrote, but you get the picture. You have a few images here. I think I spelled running wrong. So this is the featured image as you saw. I'm going to go ahead and view the page one more time. A lot of tabs are being created, so I'm just going to cross one or two out. And we're going to put some content on the page. So I'm going to hit edit, not edit site, but I'm going to hit edit. So because edit site is to kind of edit the whole template as one block in a sense, as like the website as one pattern. But we're going to hit edit for edit the page. Awesome. How many of you guys are considering building a web store? You don't necessarily have to be, a developer. As I said, you could be running a fast food chain. You could be a manager of your own franchise of a fast food chain, and you decide you want to build a web store. So this is the source itself. So let's work on this page. I'm gonna use this. I'm going to use TEMU as an example again. So they have the featured image on the side. As you scroll, you have some options, and you have recommended posts over here. The main thing is that we need to have access to the cart. In this case, I'm going to go straight to the checkout. So let's get straight back into things. This is just to give me a little bit of an idea. So we have a blank canvas. I'm going to add a block. And let's see what we have. Browse all. One block that I like to use is the median text. If I write median text, one of these blocks comes out. Now you have a plethora of blocks, and before I even continue, what might even be better is to explore the patterns. Patterns are like preset. Preset UI that you can use. I'm gonna just show you what I mean. So you have all sorts of categories of patterns you can use. In this case, I guess it would be services or maybe store. Let's go on store and see what happens. So store has like store style templates for how your page can look. I kind of want this, like this one here looks quite nice. It's like a listing. You have some info here on the side. Single product with the image on the right. I kind of want the image on the left, like what TEMU did, but I'm gonna just take what I'm given here on this section. So I'm gonna click this. And then I'm going to go back. So the cool thing about patterns is that it really does the work for you. You don't really need, see, I didn't have to design this. I was about to do it myself with the median text, but the patterns really takes care of things. So the running shoes is here titled at 120. I'm going to go ahead and write running shoes, and I'm kind of, I probably don't even need to write this again, but I will do so. Why not? I'm going to change this listing to £120, and I'm not sure what this is. It looks like it's a star rating. It's actually a block for rating, so we're not going to use this right now. I'm going to actually delete that, and I'm going to change the description. I'm going to say premium running shoes. Great for outdoor track for everyday use. Something like this. Let's see what this does. Okay, and we also have these specification tabs, which is really neat. I'm not going to edit this right now for the sake of time, but you get the picture. The pattern really did take care of these things, as we can see. And so we have everything set. I'm going to change the image and see if I can get the same one I used. So I'm going to go to the media library, see what I've already used. I forgot which image it was. I think it was this one. Insert. Excuse me. I'm going to just get rid of the caption. And here we have it. Running shoes. And then you want to click on the button. And now we're sort of veering onto the Stripe side of this tutorial. So on the link button here, you want to open that. Now you want to have access to Stripe, as I somewhat alluded to on a few of my other videos, even unrelated to web store building. I have talked about Stripe. You want to go ahead and make a Stripe account, I'm gonna go on home. Once you're on Stripe, what you want to do is go on to payment links. There's an option there for payment links. And I have these tennis shoes. Now, I'm going to make a new listing just to show you guys what's up. Let's press new. And I'm going to show you how to make the coupon stuff too. So I'm going to write running shoes. I think they were 120. Running shoes. Obviously, it's a product. So we're going to set how much our customer should pay. After payment, we can go straight to the confirmation page. We don't need to redirect, to be honest with you. We could redirect back to the website, but I'm going to leave it as this for now. I like the little animation too. Oh, my text went away, so I'm going to write running. I didn't lock in the text. So running shoes. I'm going to require. Now, this is quite important. You want to get the customer address, obviously for shipping and I suppose billing purposes. So billing and shipping address are two different fields. Let's keep it as billing, and we're going to just imply the shipping address is the billing address. Why not? Just keeps the fields a little bit less. Now I'm going to do it shipping as well, because it just means that the user knows that, okay, the shipping address is as follows, so they know. So we're not going to actually imply shipping and billing. Anyway, require that the customer must provide a phone number. I think that's quite important. Advanced options, this is important. So advanced options, you want to make sure you select allow promotion codes. Okay, so we're going to go to another section after this, and I'm going to show you how to make the coupons. And pay is the call to action. So when all of that is done, you want to go back to the product field, and then when you click your product listing, press add. Then we want to create a description. So great running shoes for outdoor, indoor, and outdoor. Let me rename that track and everyday use, something like that. We don't really need to sell the customer at this point. The psychology is that our customers will be locked in to paying for our product, so we don't need to say too much for description. Just need to confirm really what the customer's buying. I'm going to not use an image right now. If you have your own stock image library, you can upload it here, but I'm going to just leave it as a default image. One-off payment of £120, and this is in Great British Pound, GBP, but in your case, you might be using USD, maybe Canadian dollars, Chinese yuan, I don't know. So make sure your currency is correct as well. A quantity of 1. There is adaptive quantity. I don't think I selected it. I'm sure it's somewhere here, but for now we're going to just do 1 at a time. And I'm going to hit add product. And you want to make sure you hit create link. I'm going to wait for the page to load. Okay, the page is loaded. As you can see, we have a summary. We have a summary here of our listing. Running shoes at £120. And if you want to access your link, now you're going to click the link here. It's copied onto my clipboard. I'm going to go back to my web store. I'm going to go back to this link button. I'm going to place my link in the field. I'm going to press enter. And that's my link added to the buy now button. So I'm going to hit Control S, or I'm going to hit the save button. I'm going to wait for my page to save, and I'm going to hit view post. We have a very simple listing page. Running shoes for £120. Premium running shoes, great for outdoor, track, or everyday use. You have the specifications, key features. Obviously, these features and specifications are just placeholder. Right now, I didn't edit them, but we have it there. And if I click the button, boom, we should be taken to Stripe. So here now we're on a different domain. It is a good idea to redirect to the website. We don't want our customer to just be hovering on Stripe. But that's, you can always do that. So I did say that we're going to go over promotional codes. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to my Stripe tab. What I'll do firstly, I'll go back. I'm going to go back to my Stripe dashboard. And what I'm going to do at the top, hit search. I'm going to write coupons. I'm going to hit enter. And then you want to hit this, go to coupons. I already have a coupon that I made off screen, 40% off tennis shoes. I'm going to go ahead and make a new coupon. I think it's this button. Yeah, so I'm going to say something like 20% off running shoes. I'm going to leave ID blank. Let's make it a percentage amount as I implied by the title. So it's going to be 20%. And we're going to keep let the duration persist. You also have a one-off and multiple months. I'm going to leave these redemption limits as they are, and then use customer facing coupon codes. You want to go ahead and select that. In this case, I want to put a code in. So I'm going to say something like, I don't know, running shoes 20. It's quite a long one. I'm going to change that. I'm going to say shoes 20. It's a bit better. We're not going to limit to a specific customer. There's no expiry date in this case. So what we're going to do is create our coupon. And we have 20% off running shoes, okay? So now, every time we go to checkout, so I'm going to go back to my listing if I can. Which one was it? Running shoes. I can even find it. Oh, this is the editor view. So I'm going to go back. Yeah, so I'm going to view the page. I've got so many tabs. I'm going to hit buy now. And then once I'm on the Stripe section, as you can see, add promotional code, or add promotion code rather, I'm going to go ahead and write shoes, all caps 20. I'm going to hit apply. And as you can see, a 20% off discount has been added from £120. There's minus £24 down to 96. Not a bad deal if I say so myself. Alright, cool. So that's that. So far we've covered some of the UI stuff, how to use the post feature in order to make listings on the website. I've covered the basics of using Stripe checkout in order to create the payments portal. Excuse me. So let's see where we are. So integrating Stripe payment listings, generating OTP links, one-time payment links. Okay, adding a search feature to our site. This is not too difficult to do. So I'm going to go to the home page. I'm going to hit edit. Okay. How long have I been streaming for? I'm going to just double check off screen. I'm feeling like it's like a 30 minute vibe. 37 minutes, even more than I anticipated. No problem, that's cool. Search bar. Now, I want to use TEMU as another example. So the search bar persists at the top. I'm gonna put the search bar as high up as I can, but it probably won't do this kind of like persistent thing. Obviously, when you deep scroll, the search bar just goes away, and you go up. But the search bar is there up until you scroll for a hot minute. So let's see what we can do. I'm gonna go back to my page. Am I in editing view? Cross this out. I'm getting a bit confused now. Yeah, this editing view. So I'm going to go and select a space. I'm going to press the add icon. So I can add a block. I'm going to write search. Here we go. And I'm going to press this arrow. So there's some arrows here. Move up and move down for the block. I'm going to go and hit move up. As you can see, the search bar is right at the top of the page. I'm going to try and make it a full width if possible. I don't know if I can do that. Let me align center, see what happens. Sorry about that, guys. Just screen stuff happening. Okay, and yeah, it's quite simple. The search takes care of things by itself. I'm just going to write a message. So search for shoes, trainers, and this is sandals. Something like that. I'm going to get rid of the search title because the search bar is quite self-explanatory. We can use the button, we can merge the button, or we can change the look of the button. I think I like it better like a magnifying glass. I can change the button position. So, ooh, these days you don't really get buttons, you just get the search bar, I guess. So let's try no buttons, see how that looks. How does TEMU do it? TEMU uses the magnifying glass, so in our case we're gonna be a little bit different here. I'm gonna just leave it like that. I kind of want to use the magnifying glass as well, but now I'm gonna leave it like that for now. You have to hit enter. But then what if you don't have access to a keyboard? So let's see if I can change the alignment. Change the style. So I'm gonna say, which one was it again? No button. I'm gonna say button. So I'm gonna kind of merge the button with the search bar. I might be able to change the corner radius to make it curved. the curve look in UI these days. So I'm going to go to the top right, hit settings. Let's see what's available. So we can adjust the width. So 12%, what does this do? What have we got here? 100%. I don't even know what's changing. I don't see anything changing here. Okay, here we go. So 25, 50%, 75, 100%. Don't know if I can get higher than that. 200%? No, it's only up to 100. Okay, that's fine. Let's see. Typography. We can make it large. I quite like small font these days. Border. What does this do? So the border thickness. We don't really want that. And this is what I was looking for. Corner radius. So as you can see, I'm curving the search bar. Let's not make the search bar too curvy. Just a little bit like this. Make it 20%, 20 px, 20 pixels of radius. I think that's quite stylish. I'm gonna go ahead and hit Control S, and I'm gonna view my page. And yeah, this is looking a bit more legit now. So it says search for shoes, trainers, and sandals. I'm gonna go ahead and write like something like, I don't know, tennis shoes. As you can see, my tennis shoe listing comes up. So I'm going to hit tennis shoes, and I go to my listing, as you can see. I'm going to go back to the search, and you can even add the search bar to every page, which is something you want to do. It's quite manual intensive, I'm not going to lie. You have to literally add this search bar, unless you can put it as like a header, if possible. I haven't explored that. But if you do such a thing as add it manually, you'll make sure that you have the search bar on every page. I'm not sure if you can add it. Let's see if you can do it as a header. I'm not too sure if that's possible. Running shoes. There's my search as for running shoes. If I go and make the search with another search bar here, that's quite cool. If I say just shoes, I should have multiple listings come up. Let me see what happens. So I've got my tennis shoes listing, I've got my running shoes listing, and I've got my home page as well. A lot of things you can do to customize things. I'm going to go and hit running shoes, and here's my listing, as you can see. So that's the search feature. Now we'll go into the final part, part 4, which is to integrate an email campaign for user engagement. It's probably going to be kind of unique for this workshop, but let's get started. So Google offer this, one of their products. I'm not affiliated with Google at all. I'm just using their stuff. It's called Google Groups, and you can use it to make a lightweight email campaigns. So if you go, and I'm gonna see if I can find it here. So you have groups, as you can see over there, one of the Google products. I already have it open, so I'm gonna switch my tabs. And I have this is what you're gonna be met with more or less. So the first things first, if you want to create an email campaign, I suppose what you want to do is add the email addresses. So you need to find a way to get the emails. So I didn't actually cover that. So I'm going to go run and hop straight back to my WordPress. I'm going to the home page. At the very bottom of this template, you can add your email address and subscribe. Now, what I would suggest, another way you can do this, let me see if I can make this work. So workaround here, on your homepage, I'm not sure what kind of form that is. I'm gonna leave that there, but I'm gonna just, for the sake of demonstration, I'm gonna make a form. Let's say form. It's gonna be, if I can, a feedback form. So I'm gonna hit form. I'm gonna select contact. No, sorry, is it feedback or contact I want? Let me check feedback and see what happens. I think you can get away with contact form. Let me see what happens. There's a reason I want to do it this way. So I'm going to hit contact form. Let's see what we've got here. Don't really need the message tab, so I'm going to go ahead and delete it. Email, name and email required. So I'll say, please enter your email. Oh, sorry, no. Please enter your name. Please enter name there. Email. I'm going to change this to subscribe. So it's kind of a custom subscribe feature. Let's see what I can do to edit the actual look of this. field width is already quite large. I want it larger than that, but I don't know if I can do it. Input field style, what's this? Change the border, radius, once again. I'll make it like 20%. I'll make this one 20 as well. Well, that's for border, whoops. I don't want the border as well. Oh, that's cool. Without the border, it's kind of translucent. So, okay, I'll make it like 2%. Okay, and border radius, I already done it. So, label style, what's here? We have small labels, I quite like that. Advanced, CSS stuff. We don't really need to worry about that. Cool. So what I'll do, I'm going to add a block, just a heading. I'm going to move the heading above my subscription form. Press the wrong button. I'm going to say something like subscribe. Oops. I'm going to center the text. I'm going to make the heading a bit bigger. Actually, I'm going to keep it on 2. Keep it all on one line. Okay. And I'm going to hit Control S to save my page. And as a result, I'm going to get rid of this. I don't need that. This is, I'm getting rid of the stock subscription stuff that comes with this template. I'm gonna have to unlock it first, unfortunately. So I'll unlock, deselect lock, and then I can now delete the control. I'll delete this stuff here. Boom. Okay, sweet. We're done here. I'm gonna save my page once again. Okay, now I'm gonna view the page. Okay, things are looking kind of nice here. So if I were to enter my name, I'll just say Will. I'll enter my Gmail. And if I hit subscribe, it's saying that my message has been sent. Excellent stuff. So the reason I wanted to do it this way, I hope I've done it the right way, but if you go to your WordPress panel, and you hit the feedback tab over here and you hit form responses, you'll see here there's an entry in the database which is me. So I made this just now, Will, and there's my email, as you can see. So I'm going to go ahead. This is going to nicely take us to our Google Groups where we can make our email campaigns, because now we have our customer email. In this case, I made an example of my own email, so over there, boom. I'm going to then go to have my resources group, and I have a tab for Google Groups. I'm going to go ahead and create a new group. So this group, I'm going to call it email campaign example, and I'm going to say this example group demonstrates managing email campaign, something like that, something so simple. And you're also given a domain for your group, email campaign example at googlegroups.com. It's quite neat. You want to set the visibility and this privacy settings. So who can search for the group? I want to make it closed. So I'm going to say group members. Who can join the group? Only invited users. So we have control. We don't want people to kind of like just ask to be in this closed environment for us to manage our, closed email campaigns. Who can view conversations? I would limit this to members, because obviously when you make your email campaign, you want your members to see the messages. Who can post? I would say only make it group managers, up to managers. You can make it just the owner. Depending if you want to delegate, go for managers. Who can view members? Managers only. I think that's best. Hit next. Adding members. So I have my email. That's me there with my email and my username, invitation message. In this case, the user, your customer, is going to have to accept an invite via this particular approach. So I'll say something like, I've got the name of my website, something like trainers, selling trainers. what was the name of my web store for this example? Buytrainers.wordpress. Okay, so we'll go back. Let's see. And I'm going to make sure this is selected. So directly admin, so I'm adding members to the group directly. I think that's so I can add group members later on. And I'm not delegating any managers. Subscription. I'm not 100% sure what these options do, so I'm going to say each email, leave it there, and then create my group. And you just click the captcha, I'm not a robot. And I'm going to create group. So just Google Groups taking a while. So as you can see, there's my member email and there's my customer email. I'm going to go to group. Email campaign example. So the idea here is that you want to start a conversation. So every time you want to speak to your customers, start a conversation. So I'm going to say something like new, let's do it in capitals, make this exciting. New deals, I'll say new deal, 20% off running shoes. This could be like a welcome message. I can say, welcome to buy. %, coupon, running shoes. Let's change that. What was my coupon? I think it was shoe 20 or shoes 20. I literally can't remember. Let me go back to my Stripe dashboard to check. 20% off running shoes. Coupon code, if I can find it. Shoes 20, here it is there. Okay, cool. Go back to my groups. So shoes 20, just type shoes 20 on the coupon field at checkout to use the discount. And I'm going to go ahead and post the message. You can do all sorts of formatting to the email. So there's a lot of verticality to these tools. Boom, there we go. So this has actually arrived in my actual inbox because I used my inbox. Not really going to show you my inbox for now. I could do, but I can't bother to do that right now. So, but as you can see, you click on the conversation, to email campaign, that's the group. And there's 0 views at the moment. Let's adjust my TV because it's gonna shut. My TV's gonna shut off in a second if I don't press this button. And let's have a look here. I can't really see what's going on because of my TV, unfortunately. So I'm gonna try and do something off screen, guys. It says, I don't know if you can see it there, but it says 0 views. I'm on my phone. I don't know if my Gmail is the correct Gmail. It's on my tablet, but I'm gonna see if I can open the inbox. I'll just do it off screen to make it easier. So I'm literally off screen now, and I'm going to go to my Gmail. I'm gonna just double check to make sure the email came through. Yeah, so I see it here. New deal, 20% off running shoes. And as a side note, and I've just viewed it, so this 0 views here should update to 1 view when I refresh the page. I could show you the inbox. I'll leave it like this for now. Kind of makes things more neat. As you can see, boom, 1 view. That view was me just now because I just opened my inbox. and I'm just viewing my email inbox right now. So this confirms I've seen the conversation. I could reply to this on my inbox, so I'm gonna go ahead and write a message. I'm gonna say thanks. Now, obviously, there are probably ways you can make this a no reply inbox, such that your customer base doesn't reply. But if you don't, and this will just confirm, or you can make it interactive. You can say, for example, if they want to opt out, they can email back opt out and stuff like that. So I'm gonna hit send on my side of things. I've just sent the email. So if I go and refresh this page, there should be a conversation chain visible. Oh, right. Okay, that's the thing. So I was off screen and I realized I can't see users, like subscriber emails on this. I have to go to my actual inbox associated with my owner account to see the full chain. That's something I discovered off screen. I'm not too sure about that. Why it has to be this way. Maybe because if I have multiple subscribers, it's just easier on the UI or something. Okay, so this takes care of the campaign automation. I'm gonna just quickly see where we are here. So I have some information pertaining towards Google Groups. We've covered creating a conversation, sending a message. The group owner can moderate the conversation via the group's client. See what's here. Reply to author stuff. There were some settings you can do. So you can delete, you can lock the conversation for security. So now I can't reply or perform actions because it's locked. I've kept it safe. I'm going to go back to my groups. I'm going to go to my email campaign example. Actually, I'm going to go back because I want to hit the settings tab. You can also delegate members. I'm going to hit settings. See what's here. So obviously you can edit your settings, general settings, member moderation, which is quite important, privacy, posting policies. There's a lot you can do with this Google group. So I think it's a decent option for like a small organization, maybe like a 2-man band to like a 10-man band kind of thing. You know what I mean? So, all right. Let me go back to the web store. Where are we here? I think we're basically reaching the end of this little workshop. It's also worth noting Outlook didn't seem to work very well with this. Although I could send invitations to my Outlook, it didn't seem to show the conversations on my Outlook account. So just be aware of that if you're using Google Groups. I have some more information here. So guys, I think that kind of does it for this workshop. I'm going to leave things around here. We covered a few things. Depending on how you want to do the promotional code, you could do like a banner ad, like I showed in one of my previous videos, how to do banner ads. So I won't do that right now. But it could be as simple as having a block, just like what TEMU did. And you can just say like, 20% off, or it can be as part of the conversation for the email campaign, as I did in my example. Quite exciting stuff. So guys, thanks for tuning into this walkthrough. It was just about under an hour, 2 minutes under an hour. My name is Will. Again, feel free to get in touch with me. I'm active on Telegram. You can email me, and do stay tuned because I have more exciting things on the way on the channel in the way of web store building and coding, primarily in .NET C#, making games and applications for PC and stuff. Alright guys, I'm about to sign out. This has been fun, you've all been great, and I bid you all an amazing day, okay? So have a great day, and bye bye now. Thanks for tuning in, guys.